I have the amazing Teapot 1, and I'm a bit of a super fan, so... Yeah! I started doing that the other day, I thought, I've got to stop doing that. Hello YouTube, all you crazy people out there, thank you very much for joining me today at the ABR, and at the moment I'm on the Helite stand, which I'm an ambassador for. It's a product I really do truly believe in, and in 2018 it really did save my life. I acquired my jacket in 2016, and 2018 finally came the day when I needed to use it. And I've got to say, it really did save my life. I've got a recorded impact speed of 51.4 mile an hour to a dead stop. And I hit the car with full force of my back and pretty much had no upper body injuries at all. And the reason for that is the man I'm going to introduce you to next is the man that really did save my life. And I'll get him to explain a bit about Helite and a bit about the products that they sell. Thank you very much for joining us. Today I'm stood with Pete, who's the UK distribution for Helite air vests. Tell us, Pete, tell us about Helite.
Well,
how did it start? How did it begin?
Helite started Helite is a microlight aircraft, Helite. So that's where the name started. It's French, started by a French microlight pioneer, Gerard Thivenot, who's the owner of Helite, and he's the first microlight pilot to fly a powered microlight from France to the UK. Look, so that's he's because he's building microlight, he's making his own components, and he didn't always get them right first time. So he's up in his microlight, and he did some descents that were accidentally fast because something had gone wrong, and he got hurt, and he said, "Oh, I think I can solve that. I'm going to make myself an airbag for my microlight." So he made himself an airbag, absolutely brilliant invention. And then one of his mates said, "Gerard, great idea, but you're not going to make any money with those.
Not many people
There's 200 microlights in France. How are you going to make any money? No one's going to buy them, you know." So he went, "Oh, good point. I'll make them for motorcyclists." And so that's what he did. And in just about 2003-04, he started getting some orders for his motorcycle products in France. And in 2008, an English guy, he bumped into an English guy, and the English guy said, "Look, I see your motorcycle products, but I think we can sell this in equestrian." And so a brand name, Point 2, started selling Helite vests into the equestrian market, and it was very successful. But Helite and Point 2 went their own ways in about 12 or 13, and ever since then we took over the distribution for Helite, and we had to subcontract the equestrian, because that was it was a booming business, and we weren't in equestrian, and we started the bikes. Then, and we've been at it 10 years, and it's been a journey, but we've enjoyed the journey, and it's not been easy, because the uptake was very slow. The UK retailers were a bit reluctant to buy a product, because they'd already tried a product in 12, 13, 14 that wasn't very successful, an airbag product, and we come along and they say, I'm not sure we can sell it, you know, and so we struggled away. But we did a lot of business to consumer. We came to shows like this, and we soon found there was a market, and we were able to sell it.
Yeah.
And so we started that, and gradually over the years it's built significantly. And then we've met a gentleman today who put the burners into our business.
He did, yeah.
You know, a guy called Ryan from Fort Nine put out a review in 2021, and explosive increase in sales for Helite across the planet, frankly, because his review looked at a whole range of airbag products and decided
he really did explain the necessity for the airbag market to exist, didn't he?
Absolutely.
And I think that's what he does best with his YouTube channel.
He just explains. He explains things in a way that we bikers can really get
we can relate to.
And we understood him, and so we had a very big increase in sales from 2021, and I'm glad to say it's carrying on. So we're just enjoying it, but we're very fortunate. This is a relatively small company in the grand scheme of things, but the products are outstanding.
Oh, well, I know that firsthand, because obviously my relationship with Pete it started in 2016 when he gave me their standard vest then.
Yeah.
And obviously I didn't want to test it in full, but 2 years later, it saved my life. It really did. And if you're going to add something to your personal protection within your motorcycle inventory, then really this is the product you should be looking at, because it is absolutely A1, and the guys themselves are so knowledgeable, and the product is worth every penny. I have the amazing Teapot One, and I'm a bit of a super fan, so yeah. I started doing that the other day. I've got to stop doing that. So, Bruce,
Yep.
You're a man of the world and somebody that I look up to, because your integrity is key to your personality, for me and for a lot of people that watch you. That's for sure, because whatever you tell me, I believe it, because I know you're saying it from your heart, and the fact that if it was crap, you wouldn't use it.
I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
And that's why I'm one of your followers, and the same with many, many other people.
Cheers.
So that's enough of me blowing smoke up your
Yeah,
ass.
I know, yeah. I'll give you the 5 mil later.
Can you give me your views on and what you think about the Helite air vest from the time that you've worn it?
It's a weird one. Like, I've worn it for about... I said to the boys, I want to wear this for a while. I like to test stuff out, like, you know, for the year, so I get all the different seasons. See what it's like in the winter, see what it's like in the summer, see what it's like in the heat, see what it's like in the rain, just to see what's it like practically, how does it cope with all that? You know, does it affect the electronics? I've got the e-vest. So I've actually had it for almost 2 years now, it's about a year and a half. So I've not done any content on it, so apologies. But it's been a great bit of kit, and I'm at the stage where if I don't wear it, I have to go back and put it on.
Yeah, it's
because you just think,
seatbelt.
yeah, it genuinely gets in your head, and you're like, if you don't wear it, that's going to be the day.
It's going to be the day, yeah.
So it's literally every time I'm on the bike, I wear it now. So yeah, it's nice light vest. I've worn it in over 30-degree temperatures. I've worn it at -17. I've worn it in the torrential rain. It still works, still does the job. I rarely do forget, but I did about a week ago, 2 weeks ago. I had to go back home and get it, because it was just playing in my head. I was like, this is going to be the day something will happen.
It happened, yeah.
So yeah, but I mean, you're walking proof that they work.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it was you that actually inspired me to get it.
Well, I'm glad I did. And I think if I can convince enough people and save one person's life, then that's, for me, that's a job well done.
Yeah.
And I stood there today and people go, well, are you paid to be? And I'm like, I took a one-off payment. The man saved my life.
Yeah.
That's it. I owe him my life. So if he ever needs me to tell people how good it is, then I will, because the same thing, it's my integrity. I'm only going to tell people if it's what I believe in, and I truly believe in this product. I really do.
Definitely. I notice now that, you know, when I do my clan meets and on tours as well, but there's people rocking up, more and more people rocking up wearing these vests now. And
I stood here today. 3 people came from the last. They were on your last chicken tours, and he was stood there and he said, that's the one Bruce wears.
Yeah.
And they were lovely guys, and they've ordered too.
Well, it's one of these things, I think, that why wouldn't you? You know, I know it's a chunk of change. It's a big chunk of change to buy. But if you're going to walk away from an accident, which you probably wouldn't have walked away from before.
I was telling the story about my wife to the same guy in the relates to cost. She's had her jacket 7 years now. She's had 2 accidents. One would have paralysed her, and it's still as good as it was the days that she had it. So when you look at the cost over 7 years to the price of an helmet, it's done once you've had your
Absolutely.
For me, it's a no-brainer. It's just changing the mentality of people. But Bruce, thank you very much.
Appreciate
You're
it.
an absolute star.
Lee, thank you very much, man. Appreciate it. Thanks very much.
The accidental inflation is not really an issue, because it's very, very unlikely. If you drop your bike, it's going to go off, because that's more than a 30-kilo pull. But if you fall off, you ready?
Yeah.
So what we're doing here, you see, is your spine, forgive it for being tight, you're crashing your bike, all right? But your spine is straight, isn't it? You can't move your spine.
No.
With your helmet on, your neck cannot hyperextend. It won't let you. We ought to just give you a little tickle with this weapon here. Obviously, you know, crash test dummies, excuse me just a minute, Lee. But obviously, you're wearing the equivalent of 50 motorbike back protectors, which is why I can hit you pretty hard with a baseball bat, and you're just
I mean,
forgive
you
me.
love that bit,
Yeah,
don't you?
well, yeah, look, it's all part of the show, isn't it? So you're wearing, that's like wearing 50 back protectors. When you inflate an airbag between the spine and a back protector, any back protector, you make the back protector much more efficient. So everything, helmets now are getting air gaps inside. Why? To absorb the trauma. And that is a very trauma efficient way of protecting you. If that's the curb at 30 miles an hour, the trauma of the curb goes up and down away from the impact point.
Because there's nothing to stop that moving.
That's a good bit of kit. Please, there's nothing wrong with it. But you magnify its efficiency if you put it outside the airbag as opposed to inside. And that's the new way of moving forward. Air is absorbing trauma. Armour, most of the trauma would go through the armour. But there's nothing wrong with it, and I'm not trying to say there's anything wrong with it. Nothing wrong with armour. You just make armour better by putting airbags behind it. Going down now, our job is long done. You know, it was 2 or 3 minutes ago when we fired this. On a serious level, if you were unconscious and on your own, there's nobody about, and you know, at least your spine is straight, and this is going to take 8 minutes to go down. So at least you're left. You know, you're not going to be left like that because this will have held you up. So it's what we can guarantee is to change the odds of serious injury, and that's where the guarantees end. You know, we can't guarantee an outcome of a motorbike crash.
No, I know.
But we know a man who is with us today who tested it properly at 52 miles an hour. He had a choices were a car, stationary, or an oncoming bus. He chose the car, and he's still with us today thanks to this kit because it did its job.
We're all loaded up, we're heading home after 3 nights on a camp bed. I think it'll be so nice to get in a double bed, have a nice hot bath and chill out. No place like home. So thank you very much for joining us on this one, and we're out of here. Stay safe, live your best life. Live your best life, eh buds? Live your best life.